Good evening. I'm Jan Kowalski-McDonald, and I'm with Greenslate I Incorporated. And this is a live interactive show on CanTV Channel 21, and we're also streaming online at cantv.org/hotline. And tonight, this is a live interactive show, and you're more than welcome to participate in the discussion by calling in at the number at the bottom of your screen. That number should be 312-738-1060. And of course, Pookie, my technician, is here and available to answer your calls if you call in. Hi, Pookie. And for the next 25 minutes, I'm going to be your host here. And I'm brought to you by Greenslate I Incorporated. For those viewers who are just tuning in, Greenslate I Incorporated is designated to assist ex-convicts. They have any number of programs to help ex-cons. They have the Feeding the Families of Englewood. They have re-entry programs. They have a Kirby's Kids Camp, and my favorite is through the Circuit Court of Cook County. They are an approved community service provider. So if you have any community service hours that you need to complete, please call the number at the bottom of your screen, and Pookie will tell you the name, the contact information for my sponsor, Greenslate I Incorporated. But let me just give it to you now, so let's hope you've got a pen and paper handy. Give me a second. There we go. Oh, sorry. I messed it up. Here we go. You can reach Greenslate I Incorporated at P.O. Box 378744, and that's in Chicago, Illinois. Their zip code is 60637. Their phone number is 217-600-1846. And then their email is GreenslateInstitute, the number 4, and then justice@gmail.com. Their website can be found at www.greenslateinstitute, the number 4, justice.weebly.com. And of course, I'm your host tonight. I'm Jan Kowalski-McDonald, and let me just walk you through this. There I am, Jan Kowalski-McDonald. And for those of you not familiar with Polish surnames, that's Kowalski. And it's coal. That's a picture of some coal, followed by, give me a second here, a beautiful brick wall. So far we have coal and a wall. And last but not least, skis. So if we put the coal, wall, and skis together, we get Kowalski, which is my name. And let me show you my friend here. He's the little koala bear, and he's on skis, and he's giving you the thumbs up. Just so help you remember, my name's Kowalski. And some of you, I know, are just dying to call me Kawasaki. Boy, I wish I had a snazzy pink Kawasaki, but I don't. It's Kowalski, and let me give you this. My last little guy here is a koala, and he is 100% qualified. Back to me. So I'm Jan Kowalski-McDonald. Tonight we were supposed to be joined by a guest, and let me tell you a little bit about this guest, who unfortunately can't be with us, but let me tell you a little bit about their program. They have a program, let me show it to you. It's through the Chicago Public Library. It's Building Healthy Minds, one chess move at a time. And the foundation, here, let me just flip this over for you, is called Educate. I don't know and if you could see this at home. Maybe it's too small. Maybe I can zoom in for you a little bit there. Oh, I got my zoom going too much now. Here it is. The name of this group is called Educating Tribes for Success. It's a not-for-profit agency, and here's their phone number, 312-686-8787. And they have a program for children. That's why I really wanted this individual to be with us tonight. They have a program for individuals for building healthy minds, one chess move at a time. Long story short, at the this one is the Austin branch of the Chicago Public Library at 5615 West Race Avenue in Chicago. They've got a program for children. Let me see here, and it's an 8-week program. And my favorite part is the cost is free. So if you have a child that's interested in learning to play chess and or wants to just hang out at the library after school, great place to go. And it's for ages 7 to 18. So if you've got a young child that's interested in chess or maybe just learning how to play chess, then by all means, here once again, it's called Educating Tribes for Success. It's a not-for-profit. The cost is free. And it's an 8-week program, and it already started this past Monday, August 20th. And it's from 4 to 6 p.m. after school. Registration was already on August 15th, but you know what? Let me give you this number again. So if you want to get your children registered for this program, great program. Phone number is 312-686-8787. And I suggest that if you still want to sign up for this program, that you should appear at the Austin branch of the Chicago Public Library at 5615 West Race Avenue. And the program is Mondays from 4 to 6 p.m. Great program. I think children need to have some foundation for logical thinking and or creative thinking, because chess doesn't just identify the names of the moves and the names of the pieces, but it also develops a way of thinking so that you're actually thinking constructively of your next move. And especially for children who might have ADHD, this might be impossible to do, to look before you leap. But this sort of chess will teach the children this sort of logical thinking. If I move my pawn here, then this knight can move here. So it's essentially teaching children to look before you leap. And I think it's a wonderful program. The cost is free. I love the free program. And if for whatever reason your children are already booked on the Monday from 4 to 8, let me give you their number again. It's Tribes here. Let me get the name right. Educating Tribes for Success. And the phone number is 312-686-8787. So please, if you have any, caller, do you have a comment or question?
Yes, Ms. Kowalski, this is Ray.
Hi, Ray. How are you tonight?
I call with sadness in my heart.
Oh, no. Why? What happened, Ray?
I changed cable companies because the one that I had has gone out 3 times in less than 2 months.
Wow.
And hopefully the new one has CAN TV.
All right, but at least we still have you, Ray, right?
Pardon?
We still have you?
No.
No.
I'm calling about. Hopefully the other cable company will have it. But I just want to thank you. I want to thank my 2 buddies, the 2 Steves, especially the Steve that were always calling in.
Yes, so do I. You know, Ray, without you and Stephen and Paula, I don't think the show would be the same. I think you've provided valuable input. Matter of fact, I don't think public television would be the same unless it was you and people like you that call in with your comments, concerns, and questions. So you know what?
Yes,
my hat's off to you, Ray. You make the show.
I have one last thing to say.
No, don't tell me it's your last thing to say. Ray, you know what? Even if you don't get the show, please, you can go. It's streaming on your computer. So it's at cantv.org and it's /hotline. So you can go online to watch the show as it airs. So even if you don't have the cable, please, Ray, I'm going to encourage you to get one of those laptops or tablets or one of those fancy things so if you can watch us on TV.
Okay.
Honestly, Ray, I don't think the show would be the same without you.
Listen, I still have the phone number, but I just want to, believe it or not, I got a great going away.
What's that?
Steve and I agreed on 100% on one of the subjects on the last show. He's still my heart. You know,
wait, I'm sorry, what did you and Steve agree on? Oh, Ray, I think I lost you there. Ray, I think, Pookie, did we drop the call? I'm sorry, Ray, if you could call back. Because we lost that last part. Without you and Stephen and other callers like you calling in with your comments, questions, and concerns, then public TV would not exist. Matter of fact, I'm sure other companies that want to make money would love to grab this airwave and make money. But you know what? There's a reason we have public television. It's constitutionally guaranteed. Matter of fact, the First Amendment requires the freedom of the press, freedom of speech. So people that don't like what I'm saying, by all means, feel free to veto me by changing the station. But at the same time, it allows people, like normal people like you and I that are out there working hard for a living, to have their views expressed, and hopefully somewhere along the line, someone's going to listen to them. So thank you, Ray. If you're listening, please call in. I'm dying to know what you and Stephen actually agreed on. But you know, we were going to have, my guest here was going to be talking about the chess program, which I think is a fantastic way to teach children to think before they leap. What is it? I'm not sure if they call it analytical thinking or logical thinking, but there's certain thing to be said about learning the different names of the pieces and how they move. I mean, after all, when you think about it, life is really a game where there's other pawns and other knights and rooks and, you know what I mean, and kings and queens, and that we all have to know the way that they can move. So I think it is analogous to life to a large extent like that. Unfortunately, I'm a pawn most of the time, so I only get to go a couple of steps forward or back, and that's all I get to go. Oh, caller, do you have a comment or question?
Yes, the subject was about opioids.
Opioids.
Yeah, how to stop it, how you can stop it. You know, and there are many people that need a lot of help, and there are some people that do by themselves. But for the most part, they need help. And Steve and I, believe it or not, be still my heart, we agreed. So tell Steve, my buddy.
Wait, hold on. I'm dying to know what you agreed on. How did you guys agree to end the opioid crisis?
Oh, well, I said that, like myself, I was a smoker and a drinker for 35 years, and I quit. It took a couple of years, but I finally quit, you know, because I wanted to.
Right.
So I told the host of the other show, I said, sure, there's a lot of people that need help. Thank God I wasn't one of them. But then Steve said this, and this is where I agree with him 100%.
Right.
You have to have God you have to have God with you to help you. Be quiet, listen for a while, and believe me, that'll help. So Steve, thank you. And hopefully this ain't the last time. But thank you again.
Well, hold on. Right before I let you go, my topic that I was dying to introduce was, I don't know if you heard this in the news, but apparently police officers are sleeping on the job.
Oh, that's been going on since I was a little kid.
We are paying police officers to sleep on the job. And not only that, I think they lied about it. And if what I hear is true, is that they caught these officers, and there's a picture of them sleeping on the job in the squad car, I believe. And they indicated that they were sleeping on the job because of so much overtime that they had. Poor guys. But then somebody checked their stories and found that no, they hadn't been on overtime since June. So I'm kind of wondering what you think about that, Ray.
Listen, I'm 70 years old, and it's been going on since then. Mm-hmm. You know what they do? They go into their favorite places and hide, sleep an hour or two, maybe more. The supervisor aren't going to stop them because they're parked right next to them. Mm-hmm. So that's been going on for 50 years, 60 years.
Well, I was wondering about the overtime because, you know, I'm concerned about that. I remember we had a couple weeks ago the show where my guests couldn't be here because they were blocking Lakeshore Drive with the protest. So mind you that during that protest, an awful lot of officers got overtime. So I'm wondering if the protests, do they really benefit the cause, or do they really benefit the police? My understanding is and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that the overtime for police officers in the city of Chicago was like $60 million last year. I'm like, wow. Is that the Black Friday protest, or, you know, what is going on with this?
You know what, Ms. Kowalski?
What?
I was a CK bus driver.
Yes.
I worked 12, 14, 16 hours a day.
Right.
I went home, got my sleep, got back on a job, and might work another 12
And then
hours.
did it all over again, because that's what we do. We're professionals. That's why we get paid to do it.
And I couldn't sleep because I had all them people's lives in my hand.
Literally, they had you had their lives in your hand. No, you can't sleep on the job. So, but you know what? Police officers with their guns and everything, they certainly have people's lives in their hands too. So I don't know what to do about that.
But if they're sleeping, how are they gonna help you?
Exactly. But then, what do you think should be done with them? Because nowadays they've got the police union and they've got collective bargaining agreements. So I don't even think you can discipline the officers who are asleep on the job.
You know what you could do? If they work 12 hours or 14 hours or 16 hours one day, then they can only work 8 hours the next day. Then they come back the third day if they want to work overtime. Then, you let them, but the next day you work 8 hours. That's all. That's very easy.
Exactly. Let's stagger it and or limit it. That's a great idea.
Exactly.
Ray, hold on. I think we have another call. Pookie, do we have another call?
Well, hiya, Kowalski.
Oh, hi, Paula. How are you?
I'm okay. I get a shout out to Ray there.
Oh, I love Ray. I hope we don't lose him. I hope we don't. Ray, call in.
Hey, yeah, he got some good comments. You just go sit down and have you a nice shot of whiskey and don't worry about nothing, Ray. You're going to be just
That
fine.
sounds like a great idea, Paula.
You look gorgeous tonight. I like you.
Listen to this one. Yeah, Paula, I still haven't gotten a date. I'm doing something wrong.
Hey, just take it easy. You're on TV. Start putting your number underneath that 312 there.
So if anybody wants my number, feel free to call Pookie.
Hey, don't. Hey, you're such a sweetheart. You're going to get a man. Forget about that. Let's talk about these marches again, huh?
Yeah, what do you think about all that?
Well, I sat there and I watched a march on the 95th Dan Ryan, and I thought it was very impressive, all the way down to the chief of police, and then he got as far as the state police, and it was like a little fight between the state and the regular police,
Really?
and I guess we won. Everybody marched. Everybody raised their sign. They walk in 90-degree weather.
Oh, yeah.
They got their point. There was no trouble. It was a beautiful thing. But I don't think that is going to stop anything. People got to look within themselves, put the P-guns down, start loving each other more. These streets are just getting chewed apart.
Well,
People
let me
can't
throw
even-
something at you. Paul, let me throw something at you. Today I was talking with a friend about the violence, and he indicated to me that he thinks that the violence, I think it's based upon money. I think money will cure it if we have funding in the right spots. But my friend says, no, you know what the problem is? The crisis is we don't have mental health services. So if someone's suffering from, I don't know, let's just say manic depressive syndrome, or they call it bipolar now. There's no funding for that. So if somebody
Listen,
doesn't take
Mrs.
the medication, then there's no repercussions. So I'm dying to know what you think. Is it money we need, or do you think it's we need mental health to help?
Here's my opinion, Mrs. Kowalski.
Sure, Paula.
This is my opinion. You can't keep blaming it on mental health. People are doing drugs and all kinds of stuff all for a long, long time. Then you blame it on the mental drugs. If 100 people in the neighborhood have a job, that would kind of help.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't got nothing to do with the job. It's coming within the youth today. The youth today is upset. The youth today is mad. The youth today, just excuse the expression, don't care anymore.
That's true.
They want to go up and down the streets. They want to carjack, take somebody something that worked all their life for, and then blame it on mental health. Opiates, drugs. Put the medical marijuana recreationalized. I said it a million times on CAN TV. It would help. It helps a lot. It helps a lot. But the kids today, they're mad. There's so many different gangs. Listen, I told you before.
Hold on. What do you think of the phones? You know, I have seen any number. I've gone into a restaurant. I'm not going to name a name. I go into a restaurant, and there's a family. They're sitting there eating, but they're all on their phones.
Okay.
I'm starting to think that the breakdown of the family, I don't think the phones are helping. I think we should have a turn-off phone period.
No. Too much stuff. Listen, Kowalski, I told you I'm a waitress. I'll come to the table. You got a husband and a wife, and they're both on texting on the telephone.
Right.
And I'm standing there, and I said, excuse me, would you like to text me your order so I know what you want to eat? Can you put the phone down for a minute? I tell her all the time.
That's a good one. I like that.
Wait, baby. The only time those telephones come in handy is when you got a 2-year-old sitting in a high chair. You put that TV in front of them. I give them a cracker and they shut up. Other than that, the only other time to use the
I'm not going to let you babysit, Paula.
Okay? Oh, I'm real good with kids in a restaurant, I'll tell you.
I am not putting them in front of the TV.
Well, yeah, people don't talk to each other like my husband right now.
Wait, hold on, before we get to your husband. Paula, can you hang on? We've got another caller. Okay, do you have another caller?
What?
Caller, do you have a comment or question?
Yes, this is Stephen. How
Hi,
you doing?
Stephen, how are you?
Oh, it's a great day, sweetheart.
It's beautiful. You know, you and Ray agreed on how to end the opioid crisis.
No, it was something that a gentleman in a certain area they have meetings like AA and things of that nature.
Right.
And Ray came in and gave a story up about his situation.
Oh, no kidding. I missed that.
And some, well, you know, he's very fortunate to be one of the ones that could just stop drinking or drugging or smoking or whatever your problem is. And I've been a friend of Bill's for over 20 years. I don't drink. I don't do anything. I don't even smoke cigarettes. But I know.
Okay, so Diane, what you do? What do you do? What do you do to release steam? You know, to depressurize, to just relax.
Well, you know, what do I do?
Yeah.
There's many things that I do. I like to go to the gun range. I like to talk to people. I'm a diehard Cub fan.
Yeah, I can tell you're a people person. You know, me, I like to jog. Believe it or not, I jog about a mile. I try to at least 3 times a week.
You know what? I figured that. You look like someone that's very active.
But I'm not crazy about it. I eat regular food.
Yeah, me too, baby. Listen, I don't eat nothing healthy. I'm going to eat anything and everything that I want to eat. But what Paula just said is so funny. I'm going to remember this.
Why?
She walked to the table and asked the people, do you like to text me what you like to eat? That was really funny. But let me tell you something. I wonder, Ray, I hope you're still listening. These young people, all my kids tell me, oh, Daddy, go and get this Roku streaming thing. I still don't know what streaming is. But listen, I brought all that stuff and listen, Ray, I know if it's Comcast, I know Comcast is very expensive. $340-something a month is a lot of money. But they say once you get these things, those Roku streaming sticks and all, you got to get it jailbroke or something like that, and you could get certain things free. But again, it seems like it's against the law if you ask me. But again, just put it on.
I don't think we can mention names of us for profit, Stephen.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Well, people know, these people know what I'm talking about.
Exactly,
Sticks
there you
and
go.
stuff like that. And you could get certain channels and all that. But again, let me tell you something. I love my Comcast. I would never
We can't mention names. Stephen, what do you think about the cops that are sleeping on the job?
Well, it's just like anything else. You remember, they're human, just like you and I. But things that you go on your job and start sleeping, you better start thinking there's someone standing right in line trying to get that job you got. So you better get your rest during the day when you're supposed to, so you could work through the night.
Well, you know, my problem with that is that, remember the Department of Justice came out with that scathing report, just scathing on the culture of corruption, the Chicago Police Department. So what happens? The Department of Justice gives the city more money, and now the bad culture of corruption cops are now training new cops.
Right.
So I know you're absolutely right. There's somebody else waiting there for your job, but the problem is that the corrupt people are training the new people, and something about
I told you they're bringing back retired policemen to come in to do the training. But again, let me tell you something. It just shows you people don't care about things what they used to be about. There's a big word that we'll call respect, and people don't lost that.
You know what? Well, hold on. I'm dying. Thank you for saying that. Oh my goodness. Here, let me show the viewers this. I'm so glad you mentioned that. Here we go. This is a picture. Oh, I got to zoom too much. Hang on there, Stephen. Oh, now I zoomed it too little. Can you see this picture? I love this picture. Stephen, I pulled this picture off of Wikipedia. And you can see this is not a mansion by any stretch of the imagination, even with the TV here. You can see that there's no paint on the siding. There's no railing around the porch. And it doesn't even look like a foundation. It looks like somebody's got some bricks over there. So I know you're going to ask me, whose house is that? Well, let me tell you. That's Aretha Franklin's house. That's the house that she grew up in, at least according to Wikipedia, from birth until I want to say 5 years old when she moved to Detroit. And for me, when I saw that picture, I'm like, oh my goodness. When she died, I think they said she was worth $80 million. I'm like, wow. And then I look at that picture and I say to myself, gosh, if Aretha can do this from this house and make $80 million, anybody can do it. Well, of course, she had a fantastic voice. But you know, it gives hope to people when you see her poor roots. She was poor growing up. You know, so I take my hand off to Aretha. And you know, honestly, I heard something about Madonna giving her a tribute. Did you hear that, Stephen? Oh, I think I lost you there, Stephen. But yeah, I heard that there's a tribute, and the tribute wasn't about Aretha. And you know what? I think so many people, if they heard Aretha's story, would be amazed. Just look at the humble roots of this fantastic queen that we just laid to rest. So my hat's off to you. And unfortunately, I have to wrap it up for tonight. So thank you for joining us, and thank you all for participating. And Ray, I sure hope that you can get the show next week, because we rely upon the people calling in, whether it's Stephen, Paula, Ray. We rely upon you to make this show what it is. We need open public discourse. It's our constitutional right. So keep it coming, people. And thank you for joining us tonight. And tonight, my technician, as always, has been Pookie. Thank you, Pookie. And my executive producer, Ziv Sistrong. And thank you, and have a good night.